Islam. Honors. Honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honors to all the Muslims around the world. Happy Ramadan. Happy Ramadan. Just want to get on here and talk about how man is a spirit. Man is just not this flesh. Man, it's important that we understand that we are spirit beings. At the core, we are spirit beings. Why is this so important? Is because we are constantly making decisions and we're observing things in this lower plane, this lower vibration plane of the physical. And so if we are continuing to make decisions based off the lower vibrations and what we're seeing on the physical, which are manifestations from the soul plane, right? Which is, the soul plane is a little slower vibration than the high spirit, than the spirit plane itself. I don't want to go get too much in it because I don't have all the degrees in it, but I can say this, is that from the soul plane, how y'all doing, sisters? All right. So from the soul plane, all the essence of life are manifest. That is what is taught from Noble Drew Ali, right? From the Holy Quran, the MSTFA Holy Quran. Now, let me say this. I'm not official of the MSTFA. I'm not present at present time in one of the temples. So this is Esma Shawel speaking from what I get from the great Allah and from the teachings that I have received when I was in the temple and what I've received through prayer and supplication. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there before, to warn off any devils out there that's trying to attack this post. So anyway, so with that being said, knowing that you are a spirit man is very important because we want to tap into our higher self. We want to tap into being led by the Spirit, walking by the Spirit, right? The Spirit only deals with truth. It only rocks with truth, right? And it's the truth that truly makes us free. So we have to feed the spirit man. The spirit man is like a seed, right? And that seed can grow, develop, unfold, and become all the potencies of what's in the seed. And what's in that seed, in that spirit, is the full potential, the full potency of the great God Allah. It's in all of us. That's the example that Christ gave to us. As many know him by Jesus. In our teaching, Jesus means justice. And there's other names that Jesus is known by. However, my point is, Christ gave that example, or Jesus gave that example of how we can become one with the great God, and being one with the great God, meaning we are the great God. And so this is a concept that is beyond the, what they say, finite mind. Am I saying that right? It is beyond what we can contain in this plane, but it is evidences in this plane to demonstrate that science. So the spirit man, we have to feed the spirit man. How do you feed the spirit man? Things that you watch, things that you hear. It's the things that's being contemplated that's feeding what we call the mind, not necessarily the brain, the physical brain, but the spirit of the brain, which is the mind. And so, as you know, what you're thinking of, right, it tends to have an effect on how you interpret what you see, how you interpret what you are observing. If I get you to think a certain way, you will view your enemy as your friend. What is going on? Those are elements that have been sown into your spirit, right? In effort to give you or produce or manifest an outlook that is contrary to what it really is. In the scriptures, they call that an unclean spirit. There could be unclean spirits. If we talk about man as a spirit, and there's a soul plane, right? There is a soul plane where man can exist outside this body on the soul plane. Well, in the same reference, can man choose to be unclean in physical? Yes. Can man choose to be unclean in the spiritual? Yes. Yes. However, the great God, because God only deals with truth, God only deals with righteousness, right? That an unclean spirit will pass away. The soul plane eventually will pass away. Yeah, I know something now. I don't know it all now. I know something. But that goes into something else. But it's really important to understand that we have to feed our spirit man. Ramadan fasting is not just the physical thing of doing without food or doing without whatever it is that sustains your day-to-day life or your activities and things that you enjoy, so you can focus on your spirit man, is part of fasting. That's part of what I was trying to get, is what fasting really should be, right? And actually it can become a day-to-day habit. Not necessarily all the time you have to do away with food or do away with something, but how often are we reflecting and understanding that what gives life, right, what I need to produce and be successful, what I need the spirit man to be high. Not the lower self, not the flesh to be high, but I need my spirit man to be high. Because if my spirit man is high, I'll be able to get where I need to get faster, cut off what I need to cut off faster, where I don't have so much drama. And yes, you're going to have more enemies. You're going to have more devils, because the more devils you have, the stronger your spirit man can unfold and grow, right? But it'll be easy. Easy in the sense, let me take that back, because the prophet does says that this process is a process of a conflict that cannot be told in words. So it is not easy. But what makes it in the spirit man, you still have a sense of peace, though it's hard, but you still have a sense of peace. It's because of the power of God. It's because of the spirit man growing and developing and becoming strong. Spirit man is very, very important. We look on these social media posts and the social media and so forth, and you will see a lot of foolishness. Our people, they're going in two ways. Some are going more righteous, and others are going in more sinful acts, derogatory lifestyles, vile lifestyles. I mean, I turn on the Instagram now, and man, the first thing popping up, just obscene things. It's just getting crazy. And it's our people. And we are the people of God, chosen by God. So when the people of God, chosen by God, gets out of line, guess where the judgment comes first? It's not on the people that's marked to be outlaws, but it's on the people that was marked to be righteous. They get the judgment first. So some of these things that we're seeing, though they're very sad, saw a brother got shot for stealing glasses out of Nordstrom on the news the other night. That's sad. That's real sad. And that even a cop will shoot someone over some glasses. But what about the spiritual aspect? What about the wrath of God? What about the spiritual sins that we keep committing and acting a fool and keep doing, cutting up and not being righteous people? What about those things? And then they're met by the fate of our choices. Though physically, like I said, we look at physically, it's wrong. It's outright wrong based on the facts. But in the spirit, there's no law higher than the divine law. So our spirit man is very important that we feed our spirit man. This probably is one of the only posts that you're going to find in your feed talking about the spirit man. So I admonish you, encourage you, as I encourage myself, we as a people, we need to work on building our spirit man. And if you want to join us in the Ramadan, you don't have to be Muslim to join us in Ramadan. You don't know it, but you're already a Muslim. You just don't know it. Honest to Elijah Muhammad. Honest to WFD Farad. Forgive me if I messed that up, Nation of Islam. But they taught that many of us don't know that we're Muslim because we're deaf, dumb, and blind. We weren't taught that. They taught us to not know that we're Muslims already. We already are people who are willing to submit to the will of God. We were made that way, right? It's in our nature to submit to the will of the great God, to be in harmony with everything, to be in peace with everybody. That's you. That's you. Jesus was Muslim. Come on, somebody. But anyway, so yeah, you can join us. If you're Christian, you can join us. If you whatever faith, you can join us. So, because the spirit is all, it's one cord that binds us all, and that spirit man has to be developed, has to grow, and we have to feed our spirits. Peace and love. This is S. Marshall. I didn't know I was going to be on here this long. Peace and love. Happy Ramadan to all my Muslims out there. I'll see y'all in the